So, welcome to today's reading. I go by MoonTide Empress on my channel, and today we're going to do a twin flame reading, a twin flame journey reading. If you call them your twin soul, soulmate, or whatever it is that you do, that does apply for this as well. More specifically, this reading is going to be more about their journey towards you. So, if you don't know who your twin flame is, if you guys are in separation, or if you are with them currently and there are still some things going on, this is the reading for you. Usually what I do for my readings is I'll go over a spread, I'll shuffle usually 3 piles, and then I'll choose crystals for you if you prefer them. Today's spread, you're going to have where they are on their journey, what blocks they are dealing with, and how they are dealing with those blocks. And if they aren't dealing with any blocks, this is just saying why they aren't in union with you. Or if there are some things going on, this will explain why. And this is how they're working on it. We also have the Sacred Empowerment deck. This not only gives positive affirmations, but also clarifies the reading as well. I'll draw one for them, a message they need to hear, and a message for you to hear. So if you're not in union with them, or if you don't know who they are, and you're wondering, how will I ever be able to give them this message? This is more for you to kind of figure out what they're going through. And this is for your own sake. The message for you. Alright, so that's going to be the spread. I'm going to shuffle for 3 piles, lay the crystals down, and then let you guys choose any one of the piles. If you draw to 2, then go ahead and choose that as well. So pile number 1. Shuffle for pile number 2. See a message for them. And pile number 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to draw a crystal at random for each pile. So number 1 is this fluorite. Number 2 is this rutilated quartz. And number 3 is jasper. Okay, so take your 3 deep breaths, pause the video, or do whatever it is that you need. Usually when I read for twin flame readings, I can't really explain it, but there is a pile that kind of represents who they are in a way. I don't know, it might be like a synesthesia thing, but you know, it is really hard to explain. But it's like a pile kind of represents, or it's like I feel the personality from the pile for some reason. I also imagine that I'm in the room and I'm flipping and I'm choosing a card as if I was there. So pretty much go with your gut instinct and choose whatever card or cards that you're drawn to. And I'm going to get started on pile number 1 in just a few moments. So this is pile number 1 for those of you guys who chose this flow right here. We have the Hooded Man in reversed. 16, the Blasted Oak in reversed. So this is 9, the Hooded Man, 16, the Blasted Oak, and 8 of Stone Skill in reversed. So, I did pull up the Biddy Tarot page because there was something I wanted to read from here. The Hermit stands alone on top of a mountain. The snow-capped range symbolizes his spiritual mastery, growth, and accomplishment. He has chosen this path of self-discovery and as a result, has reached the heightened state of awareness. In his right hand, he holds a lantern with a 6-pointed star inside. It is a steel of Solomon, a symbol of wisdom. As the hermit walks his path, the lamp lights his way, but it only illuminates his next few steps rather than the full journey. He must step forward to see where he will go next, knowing that not everything will be revealed at once. In his left hand, the side of the subconscious mind, the hermit holds a long staff, a sign of power and authority, which he uses to guide and balance him. So, because this is reversed, it's like they're kind of in the opposite state of that. So they're in a state of isolation, loneliness, and withdrawal. And it could be further explained by the Blasted Oak, which is equivalent to the Tower card in reversed. So, the Tower card in reverse is usually about fear of change, and also averting disaster and personal transformation. So they could just be in this state of mind where they don't want to change something because they think that change is going to be worse for them. And how they are dealing with it is we have Hit a Stone Skill in reverse. So with this card, usually this card in reverse, you see all these, potteries here that this person is working on. In reverse, it's like they're not really helping themselves at all. So, moving on to the affirmation cards for them. We have, I have the power to transmute anger and pain into progress and change. So yeah, maybe they dealt with someone or something in the past where they think doing something is just going to make it worse for them, so they would rather wait for things to happen around them, in a way. And yeah, I am my own healer, so they still have a lot of healing to do because they won't be able to move forward without dealing with whatever issues they have going on. And for you, we have choose strengths is resilience. I choose flow over force. So if you are in union with them, especially, this is just saying to be patient with them. Still encourage them to move forward. This doesn't mean that if someone is holding you back, that you should just, take it and let your life just wither away for the sake of them. But it is saying to really give them the support that they need without sacrificing your own needs. So basically, what I'm trying to say. And yeah, this is also saying that even though they might be stubborn in their own path, don't let that affect you. So keep doing what you're doing as well. If you have ambitions, strive for those ambitions. And if they are someone who you really want in your life, they should also be inspired by that and use that to change themselves for the better as well. And if you're not in union with them, this is saying very similar things. It's just saying to mind your own, not mind your own business as in don't care about them, but mind your own business in a way where you don't have to worry about them and let them deal with what they need to deal with. Alright, so that's pound number 1. If you like that, be sure to leave a comment if any of that resonated, like, and subscribe for more. We're going to move on to pound number 2. Number 2 is the radiolated quartz. Okay, we have 2 this year. This is where they are on their journey. Off the bat, this does look like a positive card. It is equivalent to the High Priestess as well. I also relate that to intuition, or at least high intuition. This is what they're dealing with. 2 of Arrows, Injustice, in reversed. And then how they're dealing with that. 11, the Woodward, in reversed. And also have my affirmation cards here. So the reason I don't flip the cards over until the end, the affirmation cards over until the end, is it's more for myself. Because I kind of see these as cheat sheet cards where it clarifies the messages at the end. So this is kind of where to challenge myself as well. Okay, so the Spirit card, as I said before, is equivalent to the High Priestess. And like the last pile, I also feel drawn to read something from the Biddy Tarot site. So with my reading, since I'm an intuitive reader, I usually don't care about memorizing the cards and their meanings because one card can mean 10 different things. So sometimes my intuition guides me to read from Biddy Tarot or tell me to read a passage from the book. So yeah, like I said before, this is about intuition, divine feminine, the subconscious mind. So yeah, they could be very well connected to you as well, whether or not you know them. Maybe there is someone who has a feeling that they have a twin flame out there. Maybe they don't know who you are, but they do have this very strong feeling that you are out there. The High Priestess signifies spiritual enlightenment, inner illumination, divine knowledge, and wisdom. She shows up in your tarot readings when the veil between you and the underworld is thin, and you have the opportunity to access the knowledge within your soul. Now is a time to sit still, to be still, so you can tune into your intuition. The answers you are seeking will come from within, from deepest truth and knowing. Allow the High Priestess to become your guide as you venture deep into your subconscious mind and access this inner wisdom. Connect with your intuition and higher self through meditation, visualization, dramatic journeying, and being part of spiritual communities. So yeah, this could also be someone who's very spiritual as well. Maybe they are deeply connected to their guides or their higher selves, and this is probably why they know they have this knowing that you exist, or someone like you is out there. Alright, so we have Two of Arrows and Justice. So this is pretty much a point blank. This is kind of a card I'm going to read at straight value. So maybe they're dealing with, or they dealt with something that was kind of unfair to them, and they know it. And because they have such high intuition and trust about themselves, they know how to deal with any sort of injustice or unfairness that they're dealing with. Or maybe for some of them, they aren't dealing with any injustice at all, and everything is just, very fine for them. But I do want to clarify, pull up a clarification card for this. Okay, we have Nine the Hooded Man in reversed. So if you saw pile number 1, if you chose pile number 1, this is usually about isolation, withdrawal. But for this one, I don't see this as a negative withdrawal. It's more like whatever drama is going on, they know they don't have the patience to deal with it, and they have better things to deal with. So yeah, this is what this is also saying. Love in the Woodward in reversed. So it's like they're kind of slipping down for any unnecessary drama that they don't have to partake in. For them, love is my purpose, joy and peace are my calling. So yeah, like I said before, if there's something negative in their lives that they don't have to deal with, they're just not going to bother with it. They would rather choose the path where they are more drawn to you and the path where things are going to be better for them and their purpose and their higher self. And for you, we have my clarity lies in deep surrender. So if you're someone who worries about their twin flame, or at least if they're going to find you, if you're going to be reunited with your twin flame, it's just saying to relax. Don't think too much about it. Don't try to put all that negativity out there, because that can affect what the outcome is. Basically, this is saying that they have fully embraced their high priestess energy. This is reminding you to kind of do the same as well, to really follow your intuition, meditate, go deep within yourself, and try not to worry about the journey. Alright, so that was pile number 2. If any of that resonated, please leave a comment down below, leave a like, and subscribe for more. I also have personal readings down below in my description box. We're going to move on to pile number 3. Alright, so we have Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life in reversed. Knight of Bows, Respect. And Ace of Bows, the Spark of Life in reversed. Okay, so for pile number 3, I had to pull up a few clarifications because the message here is kind of confusing me, but I think I did figure out what it is trying to say. So I'm gonna start off with what they're dealing with currently, Knight of Both Respect, and I also wanted to read from the book as well. There is no completion without overcoming the challenge. To follow the path through the wildwood is not without its challenge and demands. When entering any such environment, one must be prepared to face the dangers and natural perils that abide there. So, what they're currently dealing with, like I said, is some challenges, but the way they're dealing with it isn't really the best for them or their journey. So they could be distracting themselves, maybe, through substance or drugs or, any sort of distraction that takes them away from this, because the challenges that they're facing is something they don't want to deal with in the moment. But because of the Ace of Bows in reverse, especially the Fourth Lovers in reverse, it does kind of put a hold on their twin flame journey. So yeah, the Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life in reverse, and Zero, the Wanderer in reverse. Serena was saying they're just not wondering. So the Wanderer is a Fool's card. This is about leap of faith, but this Wanderer card is more like them wandering about and not really doing anything to help themselves. And the Ace of Arrows, which is equivalent to Ace of Swords, in reverse, also talks about clouded judgment and about rethinking an idea. So the message for them is, I am my own validation. So maybe the challenges that they're going through, they're not really putting their best foot forward because they don't think they're competent enough to deal with it. But they have to realize sooner that the only way they can move forward is to fully trust themselves. What we have for you, I trust that though I may not see it now, there is a greater lesson for me in this. So for those of you guys who are currently with your twin flames and they're still struggling through something, this is going to be a learning experience for both of you. But if you're not with them, this message may not be necessarily about the twin flame journey, but more about yourself and what you're going through. And this is just the affirmation that things are going to be well in the future. Okay, so that concludes the reading. If any of that resonated, please leave a like and comment down below. And I also have my Etsy personal readings in the description as well. And if you want more, be sure to subscribe as well.